Yeah, I finally watched the new Spongebob movie, the Spongebob movie, Sponge on the Run. This is the third installment of the Spongebob movie trilogy, I guess we can now say. I was both looking forward to this movie, but also with some reservations. I thought the trailers were pretty damn good, and I thought the addition of Keanu Reeves was a really interesting choice. I was really interested in the new animation style, but SpongeBob has not been anywhere near as amazing as it used to be when Steven Hellenberg was handling the show and that movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some good episodes. Like, I thought Atlantis Square Pantis was good, Truth or Square was pretty good. I even thought that second movie was actually okay. And weirdly enough, the best part of the movie that actually made it worthwhile watching for me was the live-action scenes in the third act. Like, it was so new and unique to SpongeBob, and I thought it was a great change of pace. So now we have the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, which is about SpongeBob trying to look for his pet snail Gary, again and again. But this time he meets a lot of new faces, including celebrity cameos and just overall weird experiences. But now I have finally watched Sponge on the Run, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest. This might be the greatest thing to ever come out of SpongeBob since Steven Hellenberg left the show. This was hilarious. This was fresh. This was new. It wasn't disturbing. And I've always wondered, like, why is it working now? And I think I might have a few theories. One of the things that turned me off from SpongeBob, once Steven Hellenberg left, was that even though the animation was trying to stay similar to the animation in previous seasons, there was just something really off about it. Something about it just felt really different. Maybe it's because they got a new team when Steven Hellenberg left, I don't know, I can't say for certain. Like, something just went off in my head that's just like, yeah, you're trying to be like, the old SpongeBob, but animation-wise, you're just not succeeding in trying to be that. There was just, I just can't really explain it. There was just always something slightly off about the animation. But with Sponge on the Run, the animation is so radically different that it doesn't even pop into my mind as to how different it is. It's like, okay, it's clearly just trying to do its own thing. And thank goodness, because a lot of this movie relies on visual humor. And if you're doing an animated movie and a lot of your jokes revolve around visual gags, you have to make sure that the animation is perfectly timed, perfectly storyboarded, perfectly colored, just everything just has to work. And thank goodness it works in this movie. This animation is so fresh. Like, this is actually not stop motion animation like some people may think. This is actually CGI animation that's made to look like stop motion animation. Sort of like how they did the Lego movies, even though a lot of people thought that was stop motion animation as well. Also, the art direction in this is astounding. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, from a wide view shot where you see these buildings, it's very simple in design. Like, it's very simplistic and whatnot. But when you get up close to them, like this movie will sometimes do, you see how big these things really are. And you see all the intricate details that bring these buildings to life. I don't really think I can comment on the performances from the actors from the show, because, I mean, they're mostly doing as good of a job as they've always done. Sometimes you can tell Tom Kenny is getting older and he slips out of his SpongeBob voice every once in a while, but he still does a very good job. I'm not going to get into a lot of who else is in this movie, of course with an exception of Keanu Reeves as Sage, who I thought he was just going to be like this one-time gag in the movie, for one scene. Oh no, Keanu Reeves in this movie is pretty much a supporting character. Like, he's in quite a bit of this movie, a lot more than you'd think. And he does a really funny job in this movie, given, what he's given. And I'm not gonna lie, the Camp Coral scenes in this movie, where it features the young SpongeBob characters, even though there's zero continuity whatsoever to them, to the show and whatnot, are still really heartfelt and entertaining. Although I probably shouldn't be commenting on canon in the SpongeBob universe, because let's face it, there's no such thing as canon in the SpongeBob universe whatsoever. Sometimes characters meet each other for the first time in an episode, other times they already know each other, and this movie, of course, like I said, we see character introductions where it's like, wait, if I'm not mistaken, this didn't happen this way in the show. But as I said before, Sponge on the Run is just doing what the SpongeBob show has always done, which is, fuck canon, let's just do our own thing. Which, okay, yeah, fair enough. So, yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, was fantastic. It is the best SpongeBob product we've ever gotten since Steven Hillenburg left the show. This, I think, is better than the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, but it's not as great as, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. But again, for me, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie is like one of the greatest animated movies of all time, so it'd be pointless for me to even compare these two movies. But still, Sponge on the Run is still a really entertaining movie. The animation is breathtaking. The storyboarding is really hilarious. The colors are fantastic. There's so much detail in everything. And I know we keep talking about the animation, but this movie really does rely on its animation to tell its story. It does rely on the animation to tell its jokes. And if this animation was not this good, this movie would not be anywhere near as good. So yeah, if you have a chance to see the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, I'd highly recommend it.